I'm back. You're listening to the Hour of the Time. I'm William Cooper.
And I'm Carolyn Nelson, and welcome back to the Charlotte area, and we're looking forward to the move to St. John's.
Yes, we're going to be moving into our new research center that anyone traveling out in this area will be able to visit anytime they want to in St. John's, Arizona. Why did we pick St. John's? Boy, people have been calling me and said, Bill, why did you pick St. John's? I mean, why didn't you at least get close to an international airport? Well, folks, we don't like to make anything easy on you, you know. We got to stretch the imagination of the sheeple just as far as we possibly can. Not only that, if you come to St. John's, Arizona, you'll get to look at what America used to be. I guarantee you it doesn't look like where you live unless you live in a town like St. John's, Arizona. It's like going back into time, to another world, another time, another place, other people where they're polite and where they care and where they help each other for the most part. Sure, you've always got the guy that is sort of on the outside and doesn't want to help with anything and always has a bad word. Those kind of people exist everywhere. But, you know, they used to be called characters. And in St. John's, Arizona, you can find a lot of characters, believe me. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, somebody put me to the test. Somebody who's listening to this show put me to the test. You've all heard me say that socialists suck, and you can hear them sucking all around the world all the time. Well, over in St. John's, Arizona, there's a little place called Ferris's Auto Clinic, Root Beer Emporium, and Horseshoe Pit. And on any given day, you can walk over there to the garage. And but I got to tell you, if you got something against pretty women hanging on the wall, don't go in there, because Ferris collects beautiful pictures of beautiful women and hang on his wall in the garage. And he's always tinkering with some car or other. He had this old 58 Chevy that wasn't running too well. And most people will take and rebuild an engine, and they'll stick something like a blower or a supercharger on top. And, of course, that makes a big rise in the hood, and you have to do hood work and all that kind of stuff. Well, the other day, Tim up at Katie's restaurant threw a socialist out that was trying to get a free meal, claiming that the world owed him everything. And Tim just don't go for that kind of stuff. So he threw this socialist out, and Ferris was walking by, and he decided to give my theory that socialists suck a test. So right off the bat, first he wanted to make sure that this was a real socialist. He asked him if he wanted a free place to sleep and a free meal, and the guy said, "Yeah, sure. The world owes me. You owe me. Let's get on with it." So Ferris took him down to the garage and gave him a cot in the back room and began working on the 58 Chevy. Now, he did something nobody's ever done before, folks. In the middle of the night, while this socialist was sleeping, Ferris grabbed him by the neck and retrofitted this socialist inside the intake manifold and fastened that carburetor onto his mouth. So instead of having to build something up on top of the hood, everything was under the hood nice, neat, and clean. And boy, you should have heard that engine whine when that socialist started sucking. The only thing is, the car didn't go anywhere until Ferris dropped a jalapeno pepper right down the throat of that 4-barrel carburetor. That car took out of that garage like nobody has ever seen before in this world. A little girl playing on the street was so shocked she started singing Ave Maria and hasn't quit since. And nobody's seen that 58 Chevy yet, but all over the state of Arizona there's been UFO reports since that day. Now, you want to know what happened to Ferris? Well, he got a big head, started wearing a shirt and tie, and pretty soon there was somebody from Lockheed Skunk Works coming around to find out if they could fit a socialist on the back end of the engines on a B-2 bomber. And so, but, you know, it didn't last long because Ferris soon found out that was the only socialist in town. And so that was the end of that business. But Lockheed, I hear, is working on it feverishly, so if you're a socialist, you just better watch out where you're found from now on. Now, folks, let you in on a little clue here. CAGI members do a lot of things. Some of them are extremely creative. Some of them are so creative you don't know what they're going to do next. That loud noise you heard in the background was Pooh making her entrance to the studio. And she's been out playing with her little ferret and her dog, and it looks like she's not too happy. What's the matter, Pooh?
I don't know.
You don't know? Something happened? What happened, honey?
I didn't lock the gate.
Sugar Bear got out?
No.
He's still in?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's no problem. Okay, so go out and lock the gate. Okay?
I already locked the gate.
Well, thank you, baby. So you don't have to cry. Everything's okay. Okay?
Yeah.
You want to help me with the radio show? Okay, come over here. I want to show you which button you're going to push. When I tell you, I want you to push that button right there.
Okay.
Okay? Get ready?
Yeah.
Here's an example, ladies and gentlemen, of what CAGI members sometimes do. Welcome to the New World Order. Hit the button.
Glad you could make it. Welcome to the New World Order. Never in human history has so few taken so much from so many as America's Illuminati and their warlords of Wall Street and Washington. In just 8 years, these banksters and international government gangsters took us from the greatest creditor nation to the largest debtor nation on earth. Our standard of living has dropped like a rock for 4 out of every 5 Americans. They have foreclosed on our homes, our farms, our factories. They've exported your jobs and surrendered our arms. They want a new world order. A new world order. A new world order. A new world order. The Illuminati wants you to be a slave from birth to grave. The banksters own the Federal Reserve. It's private. They own it. It's neither federal nor a reserve. The cashiers make that fiat funny money stuff you call dollars for 2 pennies. They lend it back to us at full face value. Then charge you interest. You get the debt. They get the interest. They get the gold. You get the shell. They want is a new world order. A new world order. A new world order. It is a big idea. It is a big idea. A new world order. Illuminati, 1994. CFR controls the CIA, the FBI, the ATF, and the FDA. They don't give a damn about the POW and the MIA. Hillary, Billary, Hitler, Marx, and Mao. They want a new world order. They want it all. And they want it now. This Illuminati imports the dope. They create the chaos. String us out. Crush our hope. They created AIDS. It's their designer disease. To bring you down, to grovel on your knees. They want to vaccinate your child and give them the mark. They want to illuminate you and keep you in the dark. They want you to pay for it with plastic, surrender your soul. They want you under their thumb, under their control. They want it all. A new world order. A new world order. A new world order. It is a big idea. Rule the nation. Certain tax hikes, wars, rights, UN, world reform. It is a big idea. Indoctrination, incarceration. It's a new world order. That's 83. Illuminati. A new world order. The people on the ground. A new world order. This is the shot. A new world order. New world order. They're not content with all the more. It is a big idea. A new world order. It is a big idea. A new world order.
I'm very proud of you, Evan Sweetwater and Anthony J. Hilder. Evan Sweetwater is a CAGI member. Anthony J. Hilder is a good friend of mine, a radio talk show host who has his own show on, I don't know where, but he has his own show. He used to be on Radio Free America. He ran for the Senate in the state of Alaska. He's a good man. Evan Sweetwater is the talent behind that. All the music, all of that technical stuff, that was CAGI member Evan Sweetwater. And folks, you ain't heard nothing yet. Wait till you hear the rest of the music on tonight's The Hour of the Time. Phones are open, 602-333-2174. I want to hear from you. 602-333-2174. Good evening. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
You're on the air.
All right, now you just put me on the air. I just wanted to comment on what we've been hearing on Radio Free America, and I've accumulated some text files on this alleged judgment that's been made about the 16th Amendment being invalid, Title 26 not being positive law, et cetera, et cetera.
Totally bogus.
Yes, I believe that
Absolute
too.
fraud. I investigated the first day that went around. Everybody was reading it. Everybody was believing it. Everybody was biting on it. Nobody checked. Nobody checked. They swallowed the big one whole.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there with a Washington Monument down their throat.
And I believe this, Washington Mountain, speaking of Masons, but in any case, I think this is just a ploy in order to get more patriots to come out and
chasing their tails.
Right. Well, not only chasing their tails, but to get more, build a bigger mailing list, you could say, of.
Oh, absolutely.
Excuse me?
Absolutely, you're right.
So, those who might want to call up the courthouse, they can trace your phone number anywhere in the country. I know someone who has made a lot of long-distance calls and checked into this. I've gotten a lot of text files on it, and I think it's totally bogus. So, of course, like with the We the People organization, they wanted $300 per member to join in their little game, the class action lawsuit, and that's what they're doing on Radio Free America last hour also.
Radio Freemasonry.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget, we call the shots as they lie on this show.
Okay, so if anybody wants to verify this information, I recommend they do it from a payphone rather than their home phone.
Yeah, and all you need to do is make 2 calls. Call the clerk of the court and call the judge. And then if you don't believe them, you can do what I did. You can have a CAGI member go down there and check the court records.
Okay. Can I call you, or first of all, can I ask you how you liked the file, or did you see the files I sent you, the discs?
Who are you and what disc did you send? You people out there you have no concept of how much mail we get. For instance, we came back from San Jose late Tuesday night. I have been doing mail since then. I was up all last night doing mail. I didn't even go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was 20 discs of what I call Patriot. It just says generically Patriot Library.
Yes, and that's why the BBS is down right now. For those of you who've been trying to call in, we're trying to get all those files on the BBS.
Oh, the descriptions and everything that I gave you?
Yeah.
Okay, I can help you format that for your BBS software if you like.
Oh, we got it all figured out now.
Okay.
Just took us a little while because I'm not a computer whiz. I'm an information junkie.
Okay, in Volume 3, I sent you the first 2 volumes. Volume 3 should be coming out soon.
Great.
So, in any case, do you mind if I say who I am, if anybody wants to? Okay.
No, go ahead. Plug it. It's wonderful.
Okay, my name is Chris Steiner in Seminole, Florida, and I run a Patriot BBS. It's suppressed information, Patriot, all that stuff. All types of suppressed information. I know I'm already on the top of someone's mailing list.
Right next to me.
Yeah, because I'm putting out all this stuff. You know, I put out the only national listing of Patriot BBSs if someone wants to call around the country to do the work that I've done. But if they want to order the files from me, they can have a list sent to them by they can call me at 813-596-4820, and my BBS number I'll give in a second. But
say that number again.
Oh, 813-596-4820, and that's my voice line. My BBS line is the same area code, 813-596-5372. And that is up to 14,400 baud, which is the speed of the modem. You really don't need to remember that, but it's a very fast speed. And all these files are freely available to anyone, regardless of whether they pay or get or contribute, I should say, or get validated or anything. Anybody can call in on their first call and get these files, and they can also get a listing of these files should they want to order them by mail.
And they're well worth it. There's a lot of stuff in there that's bogus or is questionable, but there's a lot of real good meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've just accumulated all I could. I wish I could go down to the local law library more, but...
Yeah, well, you did a good job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right, bye now.
Thank you for calling. 602-333-2174 is the number. Good evening. You're on the air.
Wow, that was quick. Hey, Bill, that music is cool. That is actually, Mr. Evan Sweetwater has copied the methodology of a musical group called the Art of Noise.
Whatever it is, I'll tell you. I don't know, did you hear it by shortwave or satellite?
Shortwave. Shortwave, they are not jamming today. I got to send you something. Since you were picking on George Bush, I got to send you a tape I made. My wife says you're an absolute nutcase, and I call the thing the State of the Onion. Okay. Now get serious. I was asked.
By the way, my wife would agree with her.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Why? She doesn't know me.
Because I am an absolute nutcase.
Oh, okay.
I'm obsessed with saving this country's freedom, and that's what I do all the time. And everybody thinks I'm nuts, so I'm nuts.
I don't think you're nuts. If you're nuts, then kind of like we bumped into each other and you lead me down the same path, we can both go down in flames. What the hell? Let's have a drink and do it.
Let's go.
In any case, I was asked an interesting question today, which was, did you give Roscoe Bartlett a copy of the Waco tape? And I said, no, but a fellow libertarian friend of mine did send him one. And I gave one to a fellow who you may have heard of, a guy named Moran, who happens to be a custom bladesmith of world renown, who is personally related to Roscoe, or personally acquainted with Roscoe. And he said he was going to show it to him. I don't know if he did or not. But in any case, Roscoe kind of got to looking around at this, and the fellow that I was talking to said, well, he might be ready to do something on this because this and that. And this is Lyndon Thompson's first tape.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now, the next thing was, I talked to a lady in Roscoe's office. It was kind of neat being out of work and raise hell. And I said, everything you see here and whatever is a fraud. She said, what? And I said, for example, the Northern Virginia National Guard, Maryland National Guard, is sitting off there on the side of the Sinai there. and they're telling you that in case peace talks break down with Israel, these guys are going to jump right in and just save Israel. I said, guess what? Israel been dealing with this stuff since '67. They've been dealing with it since '48. They really don't need our help.
That's right.
I said, the bottom line is this. They're stuck in Egypt right now. I said, because Hosni Mubarak's regime is getting about ready to get involved in a civil war, and they're going to wind up the creamy white center in an Oreo cookie, and that ain't no place to be.
Well, you just about got it right.
And she's like, well, this is a guess on my part. And she's like, well, this, that, and the other. And I said, well, hey, here it is. Titled, Egyptian Police Battle Militants, 13 Killed. That sounds like minor problem, except for 3,000 police were being sent to 3 villages in Aswad, or however you pronounce it, the most violent villages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, we're propping up a repressive regime.
Yep. That's
end of discussion on that one.
That's what we've always done.
Now, here's the next goodie. I clued her into something, and this one you'll like because it comes out of your book, who a guy laid on me who was involved in satellite surveillance, et cetera, et cetera. And it was neat that we bumped into each other because I had heard of you. And he said, oh, I got the book. And I said, well, behold a pale horse, that is. And I said, well, I didn't get it, but I heard of it, and round we went. So I get this little message here through my wife, because she happens to be a registered Democrat puke. In any case, Ann Richards is trying to get money, which is what politicians do. And the last phrase of which, after we deal with all these nasty Republicans, what a choice, Ann Richards and George Bush's son. Now, ain't that something? In any case, and if we really intend to leave our children and their children the kind of new America, on that note, I gave them copies of the proposed Constitution of the new states of America. And I said to him, I said, now, does this phrase here, in the duties and responsibilities, does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? I said, does that sound familiar? I said, we're currently caught up in an implementation stage. And the girl says, can I photocopy this? Photocopy the whole book. I don't care. It's your machine.
Good.
So, you know, hey, you're making an impact, man. What can I tell you?
Well, thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye now.
Thank you for calling.
Rock on.
Don't forget, folks, when we get set up in St. John's, Arizona, we'll have the library set up. And if any of you would like to donate books to the library, you may do so. Good evening. You're on the air.
Hey, Bill.
Yo.
Bill, this is Mike from Dallas, Texas.
Hello, Mark.
I want to tell you how much I love your show, and that music I thought was fantastic.
You ain't heard nothing yet.
I think that's a way to appeal to the sheeple who don't seem to be able to understand anything. They can relate on a musical level. You know what I mean?
That's why I've always played music, and I've really been lambasted by some of the older folk who say that they don't understand it, and it's just wasting time, and I should talk the whole hour. But I got news for them. I have drawn a lot of young people in to listen to this program just by playing the music that I've played on this program. And if you listen to the hour at a time, you'll get the coolest, best music there is, and it's always got a message.
Bill, stay with it. You're on the right track. I got one other thing I'd like to mention. I got a copy of the Anti-Shyster magazine here in Dallas over the weekend. There was an article in there, and I'd like your opinion on this. It said that the actual conflict had already begun in the United States approximately 10 years ago, and it was amongst the George Bush faction of the CIA versus the Office of Naval Intelligence. And I'd like to have your opinion on that, and I'll listen if you don't mind.
Total baloney.
Total baloney.
Total baloney.
You don't buy it.
Don't buy it at all. I was in the Office of Naval Intelligence.
I knew that. That's the reason I wanted to ask you.
They're all on the same side, and they're all going to bring you, ta-da, the New World Order.
Okay.
A New World Economic and Social Order along the lines that Hitler had planned for the world.
Very interesting. One other thing, you're really upsetting Radio for Peace International in Costa Rica. They're talking about you practically every day.
Good. They're just a bunch of socialist suckheads anyway. I can hear them sucking all the way up here in Arizona.
They are very disturbed about you, Bill.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to make your car go faster, just get one of them and do what Ferris did.
All right. Thank you much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. If they think I'm disturbing them now, wait until they see Americans angry in this country. Wait till they see those boys in the South get mad with their squirrel guns. And wait till they try to take the guns out of the hands of the American people. They're going to find out that we're ready and willing to turn in our weapons, but it will be bullets first. Bullets first. The law will be on our side. We will be doing 100% legal activity in blowing their buns right off this earth. Good evening. You're on the air.
Yes. I just was wondering how your...
Turn your radio off.
Yeah, I just did. I was just wondering how your seminar went. If you'd like to comment or talk about it or any
Well, it went great for me. I'm not sure about the audience, though. They have never heard anyone like me in their entire life. And what I saw out in front of me was several hundred people with their chin resting on their chest, their eyes popping out of their sockets. And one guy sat in his chair with his arms crossed for about 15 minutes after my first talk was over. I mean, he didn't move. So, but a lot of people came, a lot of people listened, a lot of people went out of there with a whole new outlook on the world that they'd never had before.
Yeah, because I get Don McElvaney's newsletter. I don't know what you think about him, but he's been talking similar, not as heavy, but similar stuff for quite a few years. And a lot of the stuff he was talking about, unfolding now.
Normally I don't think about Don McElvaney, but at the show somebody came up and asked me who Don McElvaney was, and we have a document here that Don McElvaney wrote years ago where he said that he had worked for the CIA. And I merely told that person that according to that document that supposedly is written by Don McElvaney that he had worked for the CIA. And then he went over and talked to Don McElvaney, and Don McElvaney came over and threatened me. And I told him to stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm not afraid of anybody. He told me that he was going to stick his lawyers on me, and I told him, well, you go right ahead, my friend. You got my address, and if you don't, here, I'll give it to you. And I gave him my address. So...
yeah, I just wondering what you thought, because like I said, I've been getting his news.
Well, I hadn't thought of him at all until he came up and did that.
Oh, I see. Well, whatever. It's just the word's got to get out there because a lot of people you talk to nowadays are just, wherever their head's at, and you're a doom and gloomer, and, don't listen to you and all this other stuff until it hits the fan, and then it's too late.
Well, we're not doom and gloomers. We're trying to warn people so the outcome can be good.
Oh, yeah, I understand it, but when you tell them stuff like this, action has to be taken. You have to think. You have to change your whole way of life, and that involves some work in some uncomfortable situations, which a lot of people don't want to get into. So just go on and proceed down the path you're going. And
they have to be responsible. Oh, how dare you ask me to be responsible? It's like the guy that called up one night, and I really regret getting a little upset with him. I should have talked to him more. I should have taken some time with him and tried to make him understand what we're doing. He was really upset because what we're asking him to do is risk his life. And, to me, that's second nature. If freedom isn't worth risking your life for, then it stands to reason to me that you're not going to be free very long. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think that, too. Just like anything else, it's you're looking at what's going on in the cities. Now, I happen to live in the city. I work for the fire department, so naturally got to live here. But what I'm seeing now is, I don't know, it's not good. And I was just thinking about what's your opinion on relocating to, I have a place up to 200 miles north of here. I'm in Michigan.
I've said it many times. If you're in a large population area or a large population center, you had better get out while you can.
Yeah, it'll be the way we're talking about it. What we're planning on doing this spring is find a place and just get it ready, whatever. And if it's there, even though we can't move in because we can't commute, 80 to 100, 150 miles a day, it's there if you need it. And I figure who knows what's going to go on with this money situation. It might be worthless. It might be unattainable. It might be frozen. God knows what. It's better to have money invested into something that you can utilize.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Thank you.
Hit the button, Boo. Hit that button. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Three mad
I tell you, tomorrow the messages are going to be flying on the internet, because I'm going to roast a couple of these cone-headed sheeple right now. This is a message from Frank Kennedy to Weldon Bell, which was taken off the internet Wednesday, March 16, 1994. Weldon Bell wrote to Kurt Lochner, "Boy, do we agree on this one. I heard Cooper say Monday night, 3/14/94, that his sponsor, Swiss America Trading or whatever, was not making any money off the listeners. I'm curious, is this a coin dealer who is selling gold coins? Has anyone gotten screwed by getting involved in gold coins? I sure have. Well, if you did, it's because you're stupid, you dumb cone-headed sheeple." What I said that night, folks, is Swiss America Trading sponsors the hour of the time and the outlay of money to pay for the airtime of this program on satellite and shortwave radio is not made up for by the profit made on the gold coins or silver coins that they sell when you call in to Swiss America Trading. And I thought I made that absolutely clear, but these cone-headed little sheeple are buzzing these messages around on the internet, and you ask me why I'm not on the computer nets? It's because most of the people on the computer nets who habitate those computer nets are dolts, airheaded little antisocial idiots who sit and hide behind their computers and lash out at the world. And I, for one, don't want any part of it. I'm going to finish reading this because it's really interesting. He says, "I always feel that programs that have sponsors that promote that stuff ought to warn potential customers about the danger of buying gold coins. The price goes way up and down, and the people who buy your coins take a percentage." This is a socialist speaking, folks. This is a rabid socialist. He thinks that I should take care of him when he goes to purchase gold coins or make an investment, that it's my responsibility to make sure that he doesn't get burned. And I tell you, Mr. Socialist, you can kiss my... And I hope you understood what I said. He says, "I heard this sort of program on WWCR once. Couldn't tell if that was Swiss American, but it sure opened some scar tissue." Sounds like he went out into the world. This is what all socialists do. He went out in the world. He heard something that sounded good on radio, and he decided to take a chance and buy some gold coins, and he got took because he was stupid. You see, he didn't investigate. He didn't check out the company he bought from. He didn't buy gold coins for the reason that we advise our listeners to buy gold coins. He thought he was going to make a big killing on the gold coin market by buying a couple of coins. And we know that the big boys, they can make that market jump up and down anytime they want to just by dumping coins on the market or pulling them off. We buy coins to protect our assets because they won't lose their value in an economic collapse. But this little twit airhead doesn't know that. He says, "Anyway, I got some email recently that told me that Cooper is one of the few people on Omega that is paying for airtime." Omega is the satellite network, folks. Much like LTRN, several people are getting free airtime to generate interest or disinterest in the station. And that's not true. But this airhead doesn't know. It doesn't have anything to do with the Omega satellite radio network. Doesn't know who's making payments and who's not, or how much they're paying, because that's a matter of privacy. It's a matter of contract between the contractor and the contractee. So this little socialist airhead twit doesn't know if anyone's getting free airtime or if anyone is paying, for that matter. Much like LTRN, several people are getting free airtime to generate interest or disinterest in the station. And let me ask you this. What difference would it make except that you're not getting it? And that's really what may be biting your butt, isn't it? Absolutely. The paying customers are vital to the survival of Omega, and I take it that Cooper is one of the few that pays for access. I always pay my way, folks. I'm not a socialist. I believe in the American system. I believe in capitalism. It works. You will never find me freeloading on anyone. And it's hard for a friend to get me to accept anything from a friend for free. I give them a hell of an argument. You see, because I believe people should pay their way. And yes, the paying customers are vital to the survival of Omega. It's a business, you dummy. You ever hear of that? Have you ever heard of business? I don't think so. Sounds to me like you don't even know what the real world is. Who pays your bills, Mr. Frank Kennedy and Mr. Weldon Bell? He says, I find that kind of weird since it's been stated that the G3 subcarrier really isn't relaying the show to WWCR. Mr. Frank Kennedy, you Mr. Twit, airhead, cone-headed sheeple know-it-all, you are listening to this broadcast on shortwave via satellite, being picked up by satellite dish by WWCR. If you doubt it, instead of pontificating upon your little stupid soapbox on the internet, why don't you call WWCR? Why don't you take that obelisk out of your mouth and call WWCR? Why didn't all you people do that when you heard about this judgment in Reno, Nevada? You see, there's a lot of listeners to this show that know better, who are sitting out there right now with an obelisk right down their throat because you bought that scam. All you had to do is pick up the phone and call, but you're too damn lazy. Not just Mr. Frank Kennedy and Weldon Bell, but all of you who got caught. You're lazy and you're stupid, and you are causing the destruction of this country, not our enemies. Not our enemies. They're doing what enemies always do if you let them. That's what of, for, and by the people means. You are destroying this country. All of you stupid idiots sitting out there with the obelisk down your throat. He goes on to say, if Conspiracy Radio pays the bill for the TVRO crowd to have their free GI wine sessions, I guess it's a good thing. The only person I've heard whining is Mr. Frank Kennedy and Mr. Weldon Bell. And he goes on to say, Weldon Bell says, I may be a sheeple, but I'm not going to get fleeced by William Cooper. Did you hear that, folks? I've never fleeced anybody. Then he says, when I first heard his name, I thought it was a TVRO show, but I was thinking of the TVRO pioneer Bob Cooper. Then he says, you mean Ziff Davis isn't owned by Microsoft? So you can... I love these things. Folks, if you want to protect your assets, if that's what you want to do, if you care about your future, if you care about your family, call Swiss America Trading now. If you want to be stupid like this Mr. Frank Kennedy or this Mr. Weldon Bell and you want to lose your butt, call with the aim of making some silly little investment with whatever little money you have to make a big killing on the stock market or the commodities exchange, and I guarantee you will lose it. Unless you're lucky. You see, sometimes you get just lucky. It's like going to Las Vegas, lost wages. You see, they didn't build the Luxor Hotel because people win. Don't you understand that? They paid $400 million cash. They didn't borrow any money. And they already had 3 hotel casinos already. It's your money. Your money, people. Bye. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hi, Bill. This is Ed in Houston.
Hi, Ed.
A couple of things, kind of nasty things. One that slipped through the cracks during the Waco trial. A few days before that trial went to jury, the government passed a law saying that they cannot be prosecuted for anything they do. And somebody needs to look that up in the congressional record or whatever and see what...
Traitors can be arrested, tried, and shot or hung.
Well, that's right, but apparently they don't know that, and they did pass that law just a few days before the case went to the jury in San Antonio on the Waco trial, and I personally find that outrageous.
Well, it is outrageous, but they're going to find out. They will be arrested, they will be tried, and if they're found guilty, they will be hung or they will be shot. I guarantee you, Americans aren't going to take this much longer. And there will not be another Waco.
That's right.
There will not be another Waco, and I will be there with a rifle on my shoulder if they try it.
Well, and And there's another thing today in Texas. Just stay off Interstate 10 in Texas. And I'd like to hear from some people who have been on Interstate 10 in Texas today. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is setting up roadblocks on Interstate 10 in Texas for the purpose of inspecting agricultural products, and they're doing that today.
That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for guns and cars, and if they find them, they'll take them.
They're looking for whatever they can confiscate or whatever.
Right.
I mean, and just to see if how much they can get away with.
They're also establishing the precedent in law, which says that if you submit to the loss of your freedoms, you don't have those freedoms.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And the Supreme Court ruled a year or 2 years ago or whatever that those kinds of roadblocks are legal for the purpose of testing people for.
Well, they're not legal. They're unconstitutional.
They are unconstitutional.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I thought people would like to know about that problem in Texas, and also I'd like to hear from someone who has done some research on that bill that was passed, making the government immune from anything they do.
Well, it really doesn't matter anymore. We don't have a government. We don't have a constitution. We are subjects of the New World Order under the United Nations Charter. It's in the law. It is the law. In fact, their law. It's all illegal. It's been done by fraud. It is a crime. It is treason. And we don't pull any punches about it here on the Hour of the Time. I want to thank you for calling. Who pushed that button, my dear? Call Swiss America Trading, 1-800-289-2646. Do it now, folks. 1-800-289-2646. Look around at your family. Look in their faces. If you can't assure them right now that you have protected their financial wealth, call. It doesn't cost you a thing. Mention my name, William Cooper, and get all the newsletters and written material that you're entitled to as a listener to this program. Good evening. You're on the air.
Welcome back, Bill.
Thank you.
Boy, it's good to have you back live. Last Friday, Carolyn did a wonderful job. She did a live show.
I know. I listened to that tape, and it was wonderful. Before I left, I told Carolyn to do 4 reruns and do a ladies' night because I thought it would be a good thing. I didn't know how it was going to go over, but it was nice. I listened to the tape, and I really, really liked that. We may do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, reception was good that night. And, one poor lady from Florida called in. She was all excited about some flyers she'd sent off from an organization she discovered in Florida called Saving America Incorporated.
Oh, Bobo's at it again, huh?
Yep. Same thing as the America First Coalition before the election.
That's right.
Bobo in action.
And if you look at pre-World War II, America First was the Nazi Party in the United States of America. It was promoted by the
Coughlin right here in my area.
That's correct.
The phone number, by the way, that she gave over the air, and I have a piece of literature here from before the election, is exactly the same 800 phone number as America First.
Yeah, and don't forget, folks, America First was robbed of all its money by a man named Flowers. And Greitz is really fleecing the American people.
Oh, God, it's pitiful, isn't it?
Yeah, and Flowers is back.
Oh, my. Yeah, him and Willis Carto.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to get that out because I went and checked that piece of literature I had from way back before the election. It's exactly the same 800 number, even though they've changed the name.
Okay. I know you disguised your voice, Glenn, but I know it's you.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to disguise my voice.
I'm just kidding you.
Unless you acknowledge it, I don't feel there's a need to.
I knew that had set you off. I was just joking.
You betcha. Okay, Bill, any information on the CAGI convention that you mentioned a while back?
No, we haven't got it yet. We're just moving into our center. I'll try to have some plans formulated up by April 10th.
Any chance it'll be before July 16th, if you know what I mean?
No, I doubt that.
Oh, boy.
I'd like to have it where everybody can be here when the stock market crashes.
Yeah, amen to that. I just hope that we're here after July 16th.
Well, I wouldn't be looking for July 16th. Look for Easter Sunday.
Really?
That's the date that the judge named to go up and throw Red Beckman off his property.
Oh, boy.
And there will be militia there.
Oh, boy. Well, I appreciate that tip. I'll watch it.
Also, April 19th, the date that the Branch Davidians were burned.
Is this going to be a D.C. rally of some sort?
April the 18th is the day in the Satanic Church of the preparation for the sacrifice. The 19th is the feast and the sacrifice of Ishtar.
Yep. Boy, oh boy, doesn't that tie everything else together with the 1775 date and the 1943 date?
Yep.
God, it's incredible. Well, I just wanted to get that in and also to let you know how good it is to have you back live.
Well,
I miss you. By the way, when's the date on the Florida appearance?
Florida, I don't know.
Okay, I've got a phone number here. I'll give him a call. I also appreciate hearing your remarks about McElvaney tonight, too. I really appreciate that because there's so many sheeple out here that, you know.
Well, I didn't say, I don't know anything about McElvaney. I never thought of him. I never said anything about him until he came up and threatened to sick his lawyers on me because I told somebody that he had written a paper years ago where he said that he had worked for the Central Intelligence Agency.
Well, when you read his books and you see his videotapes, I mean, this guy's got too much information to be anything other than that.
Well,
that doesn't mean that his information isn't good, but obviously it's not there by accident.
I don't know, and you know me, I can't comment on him because I haven't studied him. All I know is what he's written himself.
God almighty, it's incredible. Well, at any rate, good to have you back. Take care, and if we're able to, given all these other things that are rolling around when you have that CAGI convention, we'll be there. By the way, I got my proxy thing today, okay?
Good.
And should I just sign it and send it in to you even though I've already sent you that statement?
Yeah, sign it, have it notarized, and send it in.
Notarized as well?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
That way they can't give any static about it.
Sounds good. And by the way, we will see you in Virginia on May 3rd.
Great.
Okay, take care, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
602-333-2174. And good evening. You're on the air.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but I'm calling from Texas, and I was trying to dial anyway. I happen to be that crazy lady that called in about the Saving America. I'm just trying to, and I'm not afraid to call in and face the music, you know.
Well, there's no music to face. Nobody was criticizing you.
Well, I know, but I mean, I was trying to dial in anyway, but I'm just trying to do my best out here. And I have a question. I really do have a question. That's why I was going to call. This may, I hope that this will be important to ask, because there may be some other people out there. What's the best approach when you're trying to talk to people about the New World Order, trying to bring them up to date or bring them along? My personality is to come on strong, and I feel like I really don't care if people think maybe I am. I want them to think I'm credible or that I have passion, even if they don't necessarily believe me. But I don't walk away and think that, oh, what did they think about me? You know, I mean... No,
you can't do that. If you do, you just beat yourself up all the time.
Because I've been criticized for that.
Welcome to the club. You know, Rush Limbaugh says he's on the cutting edge of societal revolution. I'm behind enemy lines. He's so far behind me, it's not even funny. And you come on strong, I jump down their throat. And I get criticized in the major media. So don't feel bad. You're with good people.
Okay.
I'm a good person, and you're with me.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And you're with Carolyn, and you're with Annie. You're with good people.
All right. Well, thanks for the little pep talk.
Okay. And thank you for your help the other night. You know, even though you didn't understand what it was, you were trying to help. I understand that. So does everybody else.
Oh, I do too. Since I was trying to call anyway, I thought, well, my heart jumped in my throat, and I thought, oh, they're talking about me. But I thought, well, I wanted to call, and I'm going to call anyway. So.
You know what? You're the only one out there that knew we were talking about you.
Oh, I know. It was me. Okay. But I'm still, you know what I'm going to do? I've got 400 or 500 of those brochures.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut off the part with the order form.
Good, and hand them out.
Still going to pass them out. I go into the grocery store and lay 2 or 3 around as I shop, and I'm going to cut it off and still lay it around because I think it's decent information.
Good for you.
Okay.
Thanks for calling. Well, folks, listen to this. Good night, and God bless you all.
All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, there's a loud knock on your door. Hey, honey. Something's not right.
Throw out your arms. Let the snowball pass through. We're here from the government. We're here to help you.
And I'm from the IRS with a power to tax. If you've got a complaint, send us a fax.
Get out of this house. Serve your guns. Give me your gold. You better obey if you want to come home. There's the producer and do what you're told.
Hillary Salama, Reno Janet Dyke, reading the words of General Albert Pike, demonic founder of the Ku Klux Klan, engineer of the Masonic Master Plan. Pike said Lucifer is God across this land, and Clinton saying take the mark in your right hand. While we're all dancing to the drums of the Fourth Reich, Clinton's preparing it for another huge tax hike. Order out of chaos, depression, inflation, create the panic and rape the nation. Crisis creation, incite black and white, program agitation.
Don't resist! You're surrounded by the UN in white and blue, the ATM, the men in black, and the one-world order.
But it's not new. Iron Mountain, computer beasts, and cattle mutilations. Black projects, UFOs, and weird genetic combinations. The Nazi doctors didn't die. Come on, get him. They came here with the OSS through Operation Paperclip. National ID, debit card? Yeah. Vaccination biochip, milk carton kids, genetic engineering. Clinton says their health plans for you and your own good. Sure. And Adolf Hitler's Robin Hood. Masonic mind manipulation. Inciting riots is crisis creation. Biochip implantation. Vaccinate your kid for UN identification.
This is a test for all of us. So I have today just one simple request. A comprehensive package of healthcare benefits that are always there and can never be taken away.
Atmospheric, sociallusion, media hype, plant infusion. Masonic religion, it's a liar. Not your praying for a Luciferian Messiah. The Illuminati thinks that they're enlightened, that they're to be the gods of earth, born of incest from the sons of Satan and their sisters in satanic birth. Hidden agenda, Kissinger, Nixon, Ford, and Bill, while your kids out back smoking crack for some cheap thrill. They've numbed us down and dumbed us down with fluoride, TV, drugs, the NEA, and public schools. They've taken your brightest and our best and made them public fools with managed media, brain-bending lies and stealth, the banksters stole your wealth. Johnson, Bush, Carter, Reagan, Gore, and Dan, they've all been pushing pipes, the Biden's master plan. Rhodes Scholar oration, Clinton speaks, then rapes the nation. Luciferian subjugation, New World Order, Illuminati coronation, American media, grand ovation, orders of the quest, think they're superior, they think that they're the best.
And you're inferior, you little pest.
Skull and Bones, Colon T, Knights Templar, Harvard University,
They're the Faustian fraternity.
Knights of the Golden Circle, Ancient Order of the Rosen Cross, CFR, Albatross.
And the party, Rockefeller's bomb.
mkultra, ISA from the OSS to the CIA. Mass murder.
It's a game they play.
Galileo, NASA, Jupiter, Plutonium 2000.
Dual sun. They'll call it Lucifer. Or Party.
Pyramid Giza, Hitler called it the Luciferian Millennium.
1,000 points of light.
Rome, Thunderdome, Isaac Horus, Lucas Cut.
If you ain't lived, y'all don't buy.
Wake up, stupid, and read the scoop. Mullen, Sutton, Griffin, and tune in to Coop.
Come on, Colonel, you say.
Bohemian Grove, Beverly Hall, Lord Betrayer, they want it all.
Yeah, they want it all.
Kissinger, Gingrich, Army, Buckley, Dole, New World Order, authoritarian control.
Counterfeit. That's the grand role.
Evan Sweetwater and Anthony J. Hilder. Tune in tomorrow night, and we'll tell you how you can get those cuts.